So today we're going to talk about a topic that may not be spoke on or thought of as much as I feel like it should be. But today we're going to dive into it. We're going to talk about spiritual debris today. As you all know, that I speak a lot on spiritual warfare and how things look on this physical realm, but when we're going through spiritual warfare and spiritual things, but how it looks on the physical realm. So spiritual debris is what is left over after spiritual warfare. Spiritual debris is the remains after spiritual warfare, the remains of spiritual warfare. When you have been in battle, when you have been in war, you will often or always actually have debris afterwards, because war is not a neat thing, is not a careful or mindful or a pretty sight. You know, if you've ever seen a battlefield or if you've ever seen a war zone, it's always things have been exploded, blown up, knocked down, knocked over. It's not a, people don't have tact, people don't have, a care in the world other than to win and to come out on the other side of this war. So spiritual warfare is no joke. It's no laughing matter. Spiritual warfare is a very serious thing that should be taken as such. Once spiritual warfare is over, oftentimes people do not think of the remains left over. Oftentimes we don't think of what is left to do, what is left to clean up, what is left to get out of your memory, get out of your nervous system after spiritual warfare. Spiritual debris will look like the memory of the illusion that you had. Meaning, if this is a relationship with a sibling or a parent or a close family member, once you go through spiritual warfare with that person, on the other side, no matter how it ends, no matter if you win or lose the battle, either way, see, before I dive into that, the one thing that I want to say is that spiritual debris will be on any and all sides of spiritual warfare. So no matter if you win or lose, you will have spiritual debris to clean up. You will have spiritual debris on your side of the fence. No matter who wins or loses, spiritual debris is just a side effect of being in spiritual war. So after you have been in this spiritual war with that, friend, with that family member, what it looks like is you are now trying to heal from the disappointment of your illusion of your relationship with that person not being a fact. Meaning that maybe you had actual love for this family member. You actually looked out for this family member. You actually, had a genuine, you You had a genuine connection with this family member. You had a genuine care, genuine love, genuine, you know, you genuinely wanted them to do better. You genuinely wanted them to get better or to heal or whatever the case may be. But you actually had genuine feelings towards and for this family member. Okay. And if you find out that that family member did not feel the same way about you, meaning they actually did not want the best for you. They actually did not want you to get better. They actually did not want to see great things happen for you. That can be a painful thing to recognize even. And then after the spiritual warfare of going to bat, if it's an argument, then that's part of spiritual warfare. If it's, that person trying to slander your name at the, family events, that's spiritual warfare. So when you hear what was said, when they tell you how they feel, that's spiritual warfare. So the aftermath of that spiritual warfare in this scenario here that we're talking about, the aftermath of that spiritual warfare is you trying to heal from the illusion that you and this family member was close and y'all had a mutually reciprocal love for one another. You had love for them, but they may not have had love for you. You had genuine care for them, but they may not have had any care for you. So that is an example of spiritual debris. So spiritual debris will be on each and every side of the fence. As I said, the more people that's involved, the more spiritual debris will be in the aftermath. Because it will be spiritual debris on every side of the fence. The more people that get involved in that spiritual war, the larger the war field becomes. And there will be spiritual debris. So you have to take your time. You can't come in with a bulldozer to clean up debris. You have to take your time and actually heal and go through each piece. You can't just throw it all away. You have to go comb through each piece. After war, you have bodies and everything left afterwards, so you can't just come in and bulldoze it. You have to account for the bodies that are there. You have to make sure that nothing important is being tossed away. You have to get the pieces of you that was left on that war field. You may have to say goodbye to the version of you that allowed that situation to take place for so long. You may have to say goodbye to that version of you. That's spiritual debris. It's hard to let go of what you once thought was true. It's hard to let that go. Because now you're telling me that my discernment was off. You're telling me that I was lying to myself. And who wants to feel like that you can't trust yourself? If I lie to myself, then I can't trust me. So who wants to feel like that you cannot trust yourself? Who wants to think of themselves as a liar? No one wants to think of themselves as that. And for the other person on the other side of it, they have to come to terms. We don't know when it happens. We don't know how it happens sometimes. But at some point, they will have to answer for their part in that warfare. If they had done any lying to you, or vice versa. People have to take account for their part of that war. People have to answer for that. No one comes out of war unscathed. Your heart may be damaged. Your mind may be damaged. Your spirit may be damaged. So no one comes out of war unscathed. So now you have to take the time to go through that debris. So this is what I mean when I talk about spiritual debris. After any type of spiritual warfare, there will be spiritual debris. Take your time, sift through it, so you can figure out exactly what it is. You can see exactly what it is. You can toss away any, fragments of bullets, any fragments of whatever, any fragments of you, any fragments of them, any fragments of the words that were said. You can toss away whatever is not needed and keep what is needed. What is usually needed for you to keep is the lessons. You need to keep the lessons. So don't just bulldoze through it because you may miss your lessons. Account for the bodies. So account for the harm that was done. But keep your lessons. Learn from your lessons. Use your lessons as your blue book, your blueprint, and as your rule book. Learn from your lessons, but don't bulldoze through spiritual debris. Take your time so that you can properly sift through it and heal from it.